Good morning, Arabs. It's your favorite American, Eric Ham. And today, as we commemorate the 1-year anniversary of the death of the Saudi national and journalist Jamal Khashoggi, I know there are many who are asking the question, why does America care so much about a Saudi national who was killed on Saudi soil?
Did you order the murder of Jamal Khashoggi?
بلا شك لا.
Absolutely not.
And why is it an issue that American policymakers have gotten so involved in? And what is the problem with the United States welcoming its Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman? Well, those are a lot of questions, really good questions, and I hope we get to all of them in this segment. And so first, the reason why the United States cares about this, the reason why it hits so close to home for the United States is because right here in this building behind me, again, there's a law that this building enshrined hundreds of years ago that actually gives freedoms of the press to journalists. And so this was while a Saudi national, he worked for a US-based company, and at the time of his death, he was based in the United States, even though he was traveling overseas. And so again, one of the issues that the United States actually holds dear is what we call the fourth estate. And the fourth estate is actually considered the journalism field, the industry that actually is used to actually hold its politicians, its lawmakers accountable for laws. It is actually journalism that actually shines a light on the work that our government is doing supposedly on our behalf. It is this industry that actually lifts up and brings those in power to account for their actions, for their work, and more importantly, for the laws that are implemented that govern not only the journalism field, but all of us as citizens. And so the death of Jamal Khashoggi is always going to be something that American policymakers will hold dear, and is always going to be an issue that American policymakers will hold up. And the reason for that is because, again, this tenet that we hold so dear, not only our transparency, not only our democracy, but that it is the voice, it is the vehicle of journalists that is speaking for the people, not just our politicians, but oftentimes politicians may not get it right. And so therefore, journalism is there to ensure that our politicians are being held to account. And many believe that's in fact what Jamal Khashoggi was exercising. He was exercising this right, once again, that was granted by the lawmakers in this building hundreds of years ago. And so that is always going to be a reason why the United States, its policymakers, its laws are going to have these long tentacles to reach out to ensure that at least all politicians are working on our behalf and making sure that human rights abuses are held to account no matter wherever these abuses take place. Now, some may be saying the Crown Prince has made such an enormous investment in the United States, in companies in the United States, putting hundreds, if not thousands, of people to work, bringing people, out of poverty, giving people actually access to the American dream. Why is it that the United States simply cannot move on? Because this good can and should at some point outweigh the bad. Well, that might be an argument that many may hold, but again, we have to go back to the laws that we uphold, and no life is worth more than the laws that actually govern it. Because without adherence to those laws, without adherence to human rights, then we are simply a nation, a people, actually in the wilderness. And so you're asking, is the Crown Prince in fact even welcome in the United States? Well, right now, there are many in Congress who are not supportive of the Crown Prince.
This guy is a wrecking ball. He had this guy murdered in a consulate in Turkey, and to expect me to ignore it, I feel used and abused. I was on the floor every time defending Saudi Arabia because there's a good ally. There's a difference between a country and an individual.
I have zero question in my mind that the Crown Prince, MBS, ordered the killing, monitored the killing, knew exactly what was happening, planned it in advance. If he was in front of a jury, he would be convicted in 30 minutes guilty.
In fact, there have been a number of bills passed, bipartisan bills passed, where they have gotten the support of members of the president's own party actually seeking to withdraw support from Saudi Arabia because of its growing human rights abuses. In fact, if a Democratic president is elected in 2020, we could see the very relationship between the United States and the Saudi Arabia, a relationship that is endeared and is held for so long, that relationship could see massive sea changes as a result of the death of Jamal Khashoggi. So again, thanks so much for your questions. I'm Eric Ham, your favorite American. Until next time, and don't forget, hold the darts.